Hello, friends. Mrs. Short here. I have a story that I had when I was teaching. It's a beautiful story. It's not a funny story, it's not a silly story. It's just one of those very sweet stories that may touch your heart. And I've always loved this. It's about whales and a little girl named Lily and her grandmother and her grandfather who didn't like tales about whales. Not whales' tales, tales about whales. Why don't I just start reading it to you? It's called The Whale's Song. It's written by Dyan, Sheldon, and the paintings, so the illustrations are paintings, which is amazing to me, by Blythe. The author dedicates it to Isha, and the person who did the paintings for the story dedicates it to GB. And it's a pretty big book. Okay, let me do the best I can here. Maybe without my glasses on. I'll try to get it so that you can see the pictures. Lily's grandmother told her a story. Once upon a time, she said, the ocean was filled with whales. They were as big as the hills. They were as peaceful as the moon. They were the most wondrous creatures you could ever imagine. Look at Lily and her grandmother. Is that not beautiful? Oh, I love these paintings. Lily climbed onto her grandmother's lap. I used to sit at the end of the pier and listen for whales, said Lily's grandmother. Sometimes I'd sit there all day and all night. Then suddenly I'd see them coming toward me from miles away. They moved through the water as if they were dancing. And you can just see how Lily is focusing and listening to her grandmother talk about the whales when she was little. But why did they swim to you, Grandma? Asked Lily. How did they know you were there? Lily's grandmother smiled. Oh, you had to bring them something special, a perfect shell, or a beautiful stone. And if they liked you, the whales would take your gift and give you something in return. I mean, come on, look at that picture. What would they give you, Grandma? Asked Lily. What did you get from the whales? Lily's grandmother sighed. Once or twice, she whispered. Once or twice, I heard them sing. Lily's great uncle Frederick stomped into the room. That's nothing but a silly old tale, he snapped. Whales were important for their meat, and for their bones, and for their blubber. If you have to tell Lily about whales, then don't tell her something awful. Don't fill her head with nonsense. Singing whales indeed. Well, he didn't like the tale, the story that grandmother was telling. Lily looked a little sad in that picture, didn't she? And as he walked away, Lily's grandmother said there were whales here for millions of years before there were ships or cities or even cave dwellers. People used to say they were magical. People used to eat them and boil them down for oil, grumbled Lily's great Uncle Frederick, and then he stomped out of the room. Well, he was full of joy, wasn't he? Sorry, that was my personal edition. Lily dreamt about whales, excuse me. In her dream, she saw them as large as mountains and bluer than the sky. In her dreams, she heard them singing, their voices like the wind. In her dreams, they leapt from the water and called her name. Now, this was in her dreams. You see, there she is sleeping, and she's dreaming of all of this. In the morning, Lily went down to the ocean. She went to the place where one fished or swam or sailed. She walked to the end of the old pier. The water was empty and still. She took a yellow flower out of her pocket and dropped it in the water. "This is for you," she called into the air. So, in the book, see that right there, boys and girls? That's the yellow flower that she threw in and shouted to the whales, "This is for you." That was her gift, like her grandmother had said. Lily sat at the end of the pier and waited. She waited all morning, all afternoon. Then, as dusk began to fall, Uncle Frederick came down the hill after her. "Enough of this foolishness," he said. "Come on home. You can't be dreaming your life away." That night, Lily awoke suddenly. It means she just woke up really quickly. The moon was bright with moonlight. She sat up and listened. The house was quiet. She climbed out of bed and went to the window. She could hear something in the distance, on the far side of the hill. So you're looking out the window? She raced outside and down to the shore. Her heart was pounding as she reached the sea. There, enormous in the ocean, were the whales. They leapt and jumped and spun across the moon. Their singing filled the night. Lily saw her yellow flower dancing on the spray. And there it is, right there. Can you see it where my nail is? And look at her. I just love this picture. Love this book. It's just, I just think it's beautiful. Oh, let me just read the words first and then show you the picture. Minutes passed, maybe hours, and suddenly Lily felt the breeze rustle her nightgown and the cold nip at her toes, and she shivered and rubbed her eyes. Then it seemed again that the ocean was still and the night was dark and silent. Lily thought she must have been dreaming. She stood up and turned toward home. Then, from far, far away, on the breath of the wind, she heard, "Lily! Lily!" The whales were calling her name. I love that picture. She's beautiful. And the expression on her face. That means the look on her face. And there's the nighttime. Did she get her wish? Did she get her gift? She did. She heard the whales calling her name. I hope that you enjoyed this story as much as I did. Like I said, it wasn't silly, it wasn't funny, it was beautifully written, and it tells a story that someone tells from long ago. And when you're with your grandparents or your great grandparents, I remember hearing stories and tales of long ago from them, and they meant the world to me. And I still remember some of them. So always listen if your grandparents tell you a story from when they were younger, because it's beautiful memories that you never want to forget. All right, boys and girls, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.